Hello, everybody. This is Pete from PA Labs, and today is day 15 of the Wargame Studio for Linux. And I have almost finished the game designer. I tackled events today. I didn't get to the event actions today, so I'll get to those tomorrow and then go through my to-do lists or fix me lists that I've generated. I think I've got those pretty much in hand. I'm projecting tomorrow a completion or at least first cut on the code for this. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and show you what we got rolling. So we have you've seen me place cities before. Whoops, let me move that debug off to, let me just kill it. It doesn't need to be there. So we can come in here and place and create, London. I'm sure that's not where London is, but for our exercise here, we are going to say that that is where London is. Okay, so, ooh, goodness, I bet if we put an O instead of a P in London. Okay, so now what I want to do is add some units. So we're going to add a fighter, and let's go ahead and put in 2 dive bombers. You can have 3. I've modified the system. Before I had it at 2. I've modified the system that everything can have 3. Although I think I haven't decided whether that ought to be a hard, fast rule across the board or whether it ought to be a configurable thing and give you a design switch that says, hey, yes, I know we can do 3, but this game you're only allowed to do 2. So I'm leaning towards that, but I haven't come up with an implementation of it yet. So that is how that's going to go. You can see the 3 hash marks on the city that identifies it to have 3 units inside it. I have units. We can come over here and let's go ahead and put a British, I guess it ought to be like an infantry unit, something like that. So we'll put a British infantry unit, and I don't know if it's coming out very clearly, especially in the city. That was a Spitfire image for British troops. So we can come down here on the continent and say, okay, let's put some of the BEF here. We can come in and put in England and have it be an armored unit and put him in here. We can, let's go ahead and just put in another infantry unit. And then I don't have stacking worked out yet, but that'll be coming. We'll put in another armored. Okay, and then what we can do, I'm having trouble with my left hand. I broke it this week, so it's in a big old cast thing. So programming is down a bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in a Belgium unit, and let's go and let it be an infantry Belgium unit. We can put in a Netherlands unit up here. Let's see, Allies, Netherlands, and make that an armored unit for them. And then over here we can stick in some German units so you can see the contrast of units on the board. And that would be Germany, and let's go ahead and put a German Panzer over there. So you can see from here that the tanks are very different. Let's go ahead and give the French a tank too. I did click unit. There we go. Um, so let's come down here because the French have their own tanks as well. Armored. That's the Renault tank. So so you can see how the units are all faring. Everybody's facing their proper directions. The units are all facing each other, and so cities are working. We have the ability to well. Let's go put an airfield out here in France. We can just call it Allied French, and say, yeah, that ought to do. And that would be airfield. Oh, it's not letting me type. I'll have to look at the generation of that. That should have come up with airfield number one. So we have that. And then we can actually come in here and edit him and add some long range bombers in here. And they're all flagged there. Oh, well, he didn't get his 3 stripes. He should. I'll have to check into that as well. But so that is the placing of units. If we come over here, let's throw, as I recall, and don't hold me to task on it, but Paris is somewhere below, probably around there. Paris. Put in Paris, and that would be Allies and French. And it's not a port, but it can build units. We'll let him build land units and save. Oh, well, wait a minute. Let's see. We can then provide some farms over. Doggone it. So we still have some bugs floating around. Found city is true. Oh, I see what your problem is. You're just on a stop. Sorry. All right, it didn't crash. I didn't think it should have. There we go. So we can come in and attach farms. Now, the important thing to know about farms. So farms have to be placed within, if they're in support of Paris. So that actually should say Paris 1. So I got to look at the naming. So your expansion of the city is the 6 surrounding hexes. I can't put a farm off over in the middle of nowhere. It's got to be attached to a city. So this, you link it up to Paris, and there we go. Let's go ahead and put in our second factory here. And the terrain underneath is basically eliminated underneath a city when you go to put stuff in. So if you're noting, this would be, it should have been named Factory 1, Paris Factory 1, Paris Factory 2, Paris Farm 1. And so it's getting the numbers correct, but it's not getting the naming correct. So Allies, French, and Paris. So he's coming up with the 2 properly, but he's not coming up with the rest of the name. So you can see how the cities fill in. We can give an academy to Paris as well. That's important so they can build elite units. So Paris, and that would be the first academy. So you can see you get to make some decisions here, and there'll be probably a a dozen cities defined for everybody, and they'll be in, Paris, London will be fully built out. Let's see, you don't need to provide an airstrip for a city. It's built into the city, so you don't need to mess with that. You have the ability. I would probably go with a third, probably a factory for here, since we don't have the ability to, whoops, not England, sorry, Paris. There we go. So we have 3 factories, 2 farms, and an academy. So that's maxed on Paris. That's all Paris can get. So over here, we'll probably have Berlin and a few of the German cities fully maxed, because actually Germany was really ready for war. The rest of the world really was not. So try to make it match out. But to make it entertaining, we'll probably give Germany 2.5 built-out cities, and then 5 or 6 that are just partially built out. And then over on the French and the Allied side and English's side, we can then give them the ability to have 6 or so cities that are with 1 or 2 farms, factories, that sort of thing. So that gives you enough starting capital with the initial armies in place that you can choose to build out your cities, add more stuff to your cities, or just mass produce infantry, armor, and artillery, and hope for the best. So the high level bombing will have its importance in this game, as will just bombing and fighter support in general. So that'll all factor in where the airports are, where the cities are in relationship, and where the squadrons are and who they're going to be able to hit. So that's basically how this guy's going to be built out. And I'm hoping that maybe, let's see, let me get that pushed, and let's come back over here. I'm hoping by end of day Thursday or Friday morning, I build out a final map for the game itself. And then tomorrow, the Thursday, today's Wednesday, the Thursday night video hopefully will say, hey, I think I got this thing complete. I'm going to, start building out the full-size real map for the actual game to play. And then, I still have to work on export. Export's going to take a little while. But, again, Friday, let's shoot for Friday to have export and all of this done and the map built. And then over the weekend, I can start working on the player and the server. So that will be fun, because we get to work with server objects and passing data back and forth to the server, bringing up the server console and stuff like that, and working in the AI into it all and how the AI is going to interact with all of this. So it's I think coming out pretty doggone good. Love to hear some comments, what y'all think. And my memory footprint is almost nothing on this. It's real small, and it's got. I just love the fact that we can override all of these individual tanks and stuff like that. So you can have German infantry and German tanks and Stuka dive bombers and Messerschmitts on the German side, and we can have Spitfires and British tanks on the other, and French fighters and stuff like that. So you can tell the various units. Fighters aim up, dive bombers aim down. The big transports or the big high-level bombers are all monster planes, so you can't miss that. Just by looking at them, you know what's there. When we stack units, the the top unit will be slightly smaller. So you'll be able to see there are two units there. And then in the player itself, different than here. Here you can come in and edit the unit or delete the unit from right here on the menu. In the player, when you click a cell, you'll get a red border put around the unit that you've selected, and I'll have a panel on the left or right, and you'll see what you've selected will all be there in the panel. The unit, what its strengths are, and all of that. So that is how this is rolling out. It's looking, I think, tremendous. Love to hear your comments. And folks, as always, thank you very much for watching.